Dear friend, I really appreciate your support and encouraging your friends to subscribe my channel. Today we're going to continue with TOEFL iBT speaking section, speaking question type 6. We call them summary question, or something I call them integrated question. Here, where the test taker will listen to a lecture on an academic topic. Could be biology, history, astronomy, economy, art. Here, it's very important for the exam taker to know what to do. The speaker will elaborate the concept of a topic by giving definition and giving some details to support the topic. Then the speaker will present two examples in support for the concept of the topic. Also, we have to know the two main examples are presented to illustrate the concept on a sort of experiment, a process, or giving instruction on how to do something. At first, the speaker will define a broad topic and then breaks the broad topic into two subcategories with a specific example in supporting of each of the two subcategories by providing more details for each of the two examples. This is very important to realize. The requirement for this kind of question is to summarize and answer for a short question using the 2 points or the two main examples presented by the speaker. To support the answer, the required question could be like using points and example from the top to explain how learning art can impact the development of a child. Speaking question 6 is a lecture about 90 seconds. In this 90 seconds, and the question requires to summarize the topic being presented by the lecture. This is very important to know. In the 90 seconds, jot down an active note in the 20 seconds of preparation time. The answer is a summary of the topic, and the 2 points being presented by the lecturer has to be summarized and presented by the exam takers within 60 seconds. We could use phrases or question style could be like this. Question style. Using examples from the lecture, describe two ways that and when. Define the lecture using example and idea presented by the speaker. Summarize the topic and explain the processing steps. Use the main points and examples being presented by the speaker to describe the two major or type or should be kind of and explain how this, for example, things is used in the tips. Taking effective notes. This is very important to be taken. Write down the main topic and its definition when listening to the lecture on academic topic. Number 3, take notes on the two subtopics being presented by the speakers. Write down the two specific examples presented by the speaker to support the topic. Write as many keywords related to the two examples. How are we going to take note taking? Note taking, write down the lecture main topic and definition. This is very important to look at it. Then number 2, write down notes about the subtopic 1 and take notes related to its specific examples. Number 3, write down notes about the subtopic 2 and notes related to its specific examples. Number 4, write down keywords. Any keyword you could see, you could write down. Let's look for when we have this kind of question. The main point, studying art. If we look here, we have the main point is studying art. Then we look for the topic sentences. The topic sentences is the benefit of studying art and developing the characters of a young child. Let's look for the example. First example, presenting the child's drawing, and this activity affects the development of the child. and how a complex emotions are being presented and the method of expression. A young child might know a limited number of words, but this young person is able to express himself or herself, we say herself, by using drawing as a method of expression. For example, a young person might like to express him or herself by drawing a sketch of him or herself, a drawing of a person jumping in the air beside his or her bike, showing that she is able to do it with the pride in riding the bike. Every person has the ability to express both either positive or negative thoughts in drawing way. Second example. Second example. How changing the shape of a clay expresses the motion change that a person can control his or her patience and being persistent at the same time. The person might take countless trials in order to express their motion. For instance, the vehicle shape being made from the mold of a lump of the clay by the child is a way of expression. In this situation, the achievement is being expressed immediately. The young child was able to interpret this method of teaching into a lesson learned about the persistence and patience into an experience being a part of his characters. From the lecture structure, a broad topic is being defined by the speaker as he or she started by giving a definition of the topic being presented. Later on, the topic was broken into two or more subcategories by the speaker in giving specific example, illustrating in more detail about the topic being presented. We could use some useful phrases in this kind of questions. For example, if you look here, we start using some phrases. For example, we have it here. Phrases used. The speaker expresses, talks about. The professor gives definition of the term as the speaker spoke about two subtopics of the presentation, which is a type of the reasons for this and is attributed to. A specific example are being presented by the speaker in order to explain and make the reasons for are understood. The first example being presented by the speaker is in supporting the subtopic, which is being illustrated by the professor as. Let's look for the strategy how we could use it. A strategy. And the strategy, we spend 20 seconds on describing the main topic and more ideas about the topic. For example, we have the main points, study of the art or studying of the art. The topic, studying art is beneficial to develop of young person. Then we spend 20 seconds on the first example or the point being presented by the lecturer and write down as much as information and details you are able to catch them up, using the drawing by the child in order to express their feeling. Study strategy. Spend 20 seconds on describing the main topic and more ideas about the topic. The main point, study of the art. The topic, studying art is beneficial development of young persons. Spend 20 seconds on the first example or the point being presented by the lecturer and write down as much as information and details you are able to catch them up. Using drawing by the child in order to express his or her feeling. Spend 20 seconds. Strategy. Spend 20 seconds on describing the main topic and more ideas about the topic. The main points: study of the art. The topic: studying art is beneficial development of young person. Spend 20 seconds on the first example or the points being presented by the lecturer and write down as much as information and details you are able to catch them up. Using drawing by the child in order to express his or her feeling. Spend 20 seconds on the second example or the point being given by the lecturer. Collect as much as details and information to be remembered in order to use them when you start to respond to the question. The use of clay to assist the young person to learn some value characters. Thank you very much for listening. Please keep encouraging your friends to subscribe my channel.